In this video, we will discuss histograms. A histogram is a graph consisting of bars of equal width drawn adjacent to each other, unless there are gaps in the data. The horizontal scale represents classes of quantitative data values, and the vertical scale represents frequencies. The heights of the bars correspond to frequency values. Important uses of a histogram. Visually displays the shape of the distribution of the data, shows the location of the center of the data, shows the spread of the data, identifies outliers. A histogram is basically a graph of a frequency distribution. Class frequencies are used for the vertical scale, and commonly class boundaries, limits, or midpoints are used for the bar locations along the horizontal scale. Here's an example of a histogram made with McDonald's lunch data from the previous exercise. A relative frequency histogram has the same shape and horizontal scale as a histogram based on the same data, but the vertical scale uses frequencies as percentage or proportions instead of actual frequencies. The relative frequency histogram below again uses the McDonald's lunch data from the previous section. I basically just took the last graph and erased the one second. There we go. Erased the numbers for the frequency and changed and doubled the numbers along the side because those are now percentages, 0%, 10%, 20%, and so on. It doesn't look as good as I'd like, but I couldn't find a program that would create a relative frequency histogram for me. When graphed as a histogram, a normal distribution is a bell shape. Many statistical methods require that sample data come from a population having a distribution that is approximately a normal distribution. And we can often use a histogram to judge whether this requirement is satisfied. There are more advanced and less subjective methods for determining whether the distribution is a normal distribution. Normal quantile plots are very helpful for assessing normality. We'll talk about normal quantile plots later. Here is an example of a histogram with a normal distribution. Other common distribution shapes: when different possible values occur with approximately the same frequency, so the histogram appears to be more or less a single rectangular block, the distribution is called a uniform distribution. A distribution of data is skewed if it is not symmetric and extends more to one side than the other. Data skewed to the right or positively skewed have a longer right tail. Data skewed to the left or negatively skewed have a longer left tail. A mnemonic for remembering skewness: a distribution skewed to the right resembles the toes on your right foot, and one skewed to the left resembles the toes on your left foot.